if you have any specific requirement, you can let us know. We can also include those things if you have other than these things. But we have covered most of the things in the technical part. So all the things that we used to work while in the CRM. So whether writing script or developing the solutions or customization and configuration. So everything that we have included. But still, if you have any specific requirement, you can let us know. Then we can also include that. Okay. And then we will start discussing on Dynamics CRM 2013. I will explain you what is basically Dynamics CRM 2013, what is the basic concept of CRM, and what are the different deployment options available, how we can set up the CRM, how we can install, and what are the different options that we have. And then we will discuss what are the accessibility options to access the CRM application from the client. So we will discuss that, and then we can have any QA session if you have any questions, so you can go with that. Okay. So let's first go through the course contents. These are the basically we have divided the course contents into basically 3 sections. So the first will be just for that which will give you that overview of that application, that what is basically CRM 2013, how the application look like, what are the navigation, different navigations are there, what are the modules are there. So that we will cover in that application part. Here we will discuss what are the deployment options are there, how you can install that. We will give you the overview that how you can get those things if you work with the CRM online, or if you want to work with the CRM on-premise, how you can set up that. And then we will provide you that information, what are the different clients, how you can access CRM from the web client, from the Outlook client, and from the mobile clients, and all those things. And then we will go through that overview of the modules. We will give you overview and what are the entities that is available, different from the Oracle CRM. We would say Microsoft CRM. So it has that different, like the what is the basically thing here, that this is a CRM application. So Microsoft has developed this application keeping that generic CRM requirement in mind. So it may be that some of that functionality that you will find matching in that Oracle or in any other CRM softwares like Salesforce or Siebel CRM, but it has its own features, it has its own capabilities. Okay, so there may be some kind of generic information that will be similar in that, but definitely it's different because this is a Microsoft product. Okay. So in this application section, we will have these details that we will discuss with you, and then we will have that customization configuration section, so that where we will cover all that customization configuration topics. Like first we will explain you what is the customization concept in Dynamics CRM, how you can customize the solutions, what is basically the solutions, how you can take your customization from one server to another server, how you can do the deployment, how you can create that publisher that can differentiate that your customization from the other developers. And then we will work with the business entities, that is out-of-box entities, how we can customize those, how we can create new attribute to existing entities that we have, or if we have any requirement, how we can create our custom entities and custom attributes, how we can design their forms, how we can add different controls that is available into Dynamics CRM. So it will be the complete designing that entity part from that based on the user requirement. And then we will have that how we can create that association in Dynamics CRM. There is basically a relationship concept. So we will see how we can associate entities in CRM, and then there will be options to create that business rule. We will discuss that what is business rule, how we can create that, how we can use business rule to do that our basic data validations. So, and after that we will work with the workflows, dialogues, and business process and actions. And then we will also learn that how we can create a report using a report wizard that is available into CRM UI itself. And then we will also learn that how we can create chart from the CRM UI, how you can utilize the views that is working behind the charts, how we can create the dashboards. No, this is basically from the CRM UI. So all these topics are basically from the customization sections that you can do from the CRM UI itself. There won't be any coding in this all these topics. That will be from the CRM UI. You can just from the CRM screen you can design those things. Okay, so that is what we will cover in the customization part. And then later on that will be that extending part here, that we will cover that what are the coding part are there, how you can extend that CRM, how you can write custom code using .NET, using JavaScript, using jQuery. We will work how we can create a web resource, JavaScript web resources, how we can create HTML web resources, how we can create custom reports in Visual Studio, how we can design that custom SRS reports. And then we will see that how we can change that CRM navigation using sitemap tools, and how we can create ribbon buttons using ribbon tools that is available. And then we will see that how we can implement the data validation using JavaScript, how we can write a JavaScript to validate something. Let's take an example. If we want to make some field required, how we can write a JavaScript, how we can get value for some field or get value from the related field. All these things that will be covered here in the scripting part. And then we will work with the Dynamics CRM web services. We will explain you what are the different Dynamics web services available, how we can use that, what is the purpose of that web service, why we use them. And then we will learn that different options that using that we can get data from CRM, using REST and so on. These are basically basically Microsoft use that Microsoft SQL Server as a backend into Dynamics CRM, but we don't go to the table directly into the SQL Server because that is not supported from the Microsoft CRM side, right? It's not supported to go to directly tables and do your query. We directly do whatever things we need to get data from there. We utilize CRM web services, CRM web API. Using that only we get the data. But technically it's possible. You can always go to table and you can do whatever you want to do. But from the Microsoft it's not supported because that can lead data inconsistency. So always whenever you want to access any data, you need to write code, or you can access the data from CRM UI, or you can create your application using CRM web services and web API. Okay. Then we will learn that what are that common methods of these CRM web services that we have, that we work with them. And then we will write our custom business logic using plugin. Plugin is basically a .NET assemblies that we will write a .NET assembly in Visual Studio, and then we will utilize our web service methods, and then we will do whatever processing we want to do. Maybe we want to create record or update records, and then we will register those plugins into CRM, and then we will see that what are the different events that is available where we can write our custom .NET assembly. Okay, and we will see that what are the different deployment options. And apart from that, we will also write the custom workflows. So we have that one workflow that we can create from CRM UI, but if there is a custom requirement, you can also develop custom workflows using Visual Studio. So we will also learn that how we can write a custom Visual Studio solutions and register those to CRM. And then we will have that introduction to Windows Azure basics. Basically, this is a cloud solution, so we will see that basic information how we can connect to CRM with another cloud services, or we will also discuss that how we can utilize CRM to connect with any other system for the integration. So whether it's a ERP or any custom web service or any custom website, how we can integrate CRM with those things. So we will cover all these things in this technical parts. So these will be the topic that we will be covering in our CRM technical course. So if you have any custom requirement, you can let us know. We can also include that, and we can also go with that. But these cover all the technical aspect that any CRM technical person should know. Okay. Do you have any question on the course contents? No, you will do the coding. In that extension part, you will do the coding in Visual Studio. And if in that we need to do the both server side code and the client side code, you need to write a JavaScript as well. So the extension is something where we need to write a JavaScript, and server side code, our .NET code, right? See, there is two things. One is that if you just want that, okay, I don't go to that, that much technical details. I don't want to do that core technical where I don't want to write code. Then we can cover that customization and configuration where everything will be from CRM UI. You don't need to write any code. So you can just like a functional consultant where you can create entities, you can create that attribute and everything that you can do from the CRM UI. But if you want to want to go for a core technical career, then you need to learn that coding and you need to learn that extension part, which is where we will write the JavaScript code and server side code and we will create all those solutions. Okay. Yeah, these are the technical parts only. Okay. So this is what we have for course content. So in today's demo, I will start Dynamics CRM 2013 introduction, and then I will give you the deployment options, and then what are the accessibility options that is available for today's demo. So let's start our demo. So let's first discuss basically what is Dynamics CRM. Before going through the Dynamics CRM, let's first discuss what is basically a CRM application. So a CRM application is basically, CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System, which is an application which helps us to automate our business processes, our business activities, that all that activity that we interact with our customers. Customer is a basic centric entity here. All the CRM software, whether it is a Siebel, whether it is a Salesforce, whether it is a Microsoft Dynamics CRM, all are around all that customer entity only. So CRM software is basically a centralized location where we store every interaction that we are having with our customer. Whether we are having any inbound communication, maybe we are just getting any information from the client, maybe we are just getting phone call, we are getting emails or any type of other inbound communication, or we are doing any kind of outbound communication, like we are sending email, we are doing phone call, or we are meeting personally. So everything that we stored in a centralized location, so that we can use the data to keep track of our relationship, and we can provide them a good services, and we can develop a profitable engagement with our customer, so that we can help them to manage their business in a proper way, right? So it's basically that fully integrated, the CRM is a dynamic CRM in the same way. It's a fully integrated customer relationship management system which help you to retain your existing customer and get new customer from the market. So whatever customer you have existing, you will provide them a good service, you will fulfill all of their requirement within the time, because you have the data. So from the data you can analyze that what type of requirement they are going to get in near future, and you can help them to fulfill their requirement. And you can also get a new client from the market. So you can do the campaigns, you can do marketing activities, and you can try to get new data from the new customer information from the market, and you can convert them into their client. Okay, so this is basically we have Dynamics CRM. So Dynamics CRM by default provides us 3 out-of-box modules, which is sales, marketing, and service. So these modules help us to perform all these module related specific activities. So for example, in sales module, we do the complete sales life cycle. So we from getting the basic information that there is some customer who is interested buying in our service. So we start from lead, and then we work with the leads, and then we get that more information from our customer and convert that lead into opportunity, where we get that price information, the product information, and then we do that quote, and then order, and then invoice. We fulfill that complete requirement. Sorry, go ahead. Could you repeat your question? No, wait. How I can get that? See, it depends on that. Basically, what is that here that you are asking about, that sales or business criteria? It depends on that completely the customer, right? Whatever customer having, there could be that different customer have their different sales requirement, right? But out of box, we are discussing here the out of box. So out of box, Microsoft has provided a generic sales items, generic sales activities, generic sales entities that can be used to execute that sales process. But if company have a specific requirement, we can easily customize this and we can, map it with our business requirement. So we can definitely change that sales process according to our business criteria. It's not that we cannot, customize that, we cannot extend that. That's what we do in a customization. Okay, so but they have provided a very generic set of tools that is required by every business. So in the same way, marketing, we do that marketing related activity, we do that campaign, we design our campaign, we collect our marketing list, and then we decide that budget, we decide that what are the marketing activity that we are going to do, all the things that is part of this marketing module. And service module is kind of a service support where we do the case management, where we do the resources management, that if there is any, we have sold our product to customer and if they are facing any issue, so we use that service object to provide that service. In service module, we do implement that our support life cycle, where we create a case and then case resolution is there. We work with the knowledge base. If there is already some cases faced in behind in a before this, or we have already some knowledge base available, from there we can help our customers. So these are completely support module, which is the third one, the service module. So these are the three modules that we have out of box. But you can always create your custom module. You can always say that I don't want to use marketing or service. You can hide it from the customer. Maybe they are not using it, we can hide it, we can remove it, they won't be able to see it. Or we can say that I don't want to use the sales module, I want to create my own custom. You can always hide all the three modules and you can develop your own custom module. So that's the key feature here on the Dynamics CRM. It's a highly extendable product. You can customize this product according to your business requirements, so it can behave like whatever you want to change it. Okay, so this is basically we have here. And then now we have this Dynamics CRM. So basically there are a couple of strong reasons to make it more adaptable. The one thing is that native office experience. So Dynamics CRM is basically provides a very tight integration with Outlook. So nowadays most of the companies are using Microsoft Office product in their office. So they are using Outlook to send email, to work with the email. So they are familiar with the interface, right? So CRM provide you the way that you can access CRM application from Outlook itself. So you don't need to switch your application, and you can be on the same interface, and it can be similar to that existing application that you are using. So that help user to adapt this new application, because it look like they are already using this application before, so it has the same kind of interface. So that helps us to adapt that application very easily. Okay, the another strong reason is that multilingual. So Microsoft Dynamics CRM provides a multilingual support, that you can change the language of the Microsoft Dynamics CRM based on your region. So for example, like say if you are working in a you have implemented Dynamics CRM in Japan, so there you can install the Japanese language pack, and the Japanese language pack will change the complete interface language. Yeah, please tell me. No, it's a web application. It's a web application. Basically, it's a client server application. So it's web application, but it provide a client that can be installed and then it will connect to your web application in the Outlook itself. Okay, it's a web application hosted on IIS. See, that we will cover in the deployment option. I will cover that in the deployment option. Okay, I will cover this topic in the deployment option. So you are clear on this slide? Do you have any question on this slide? Okay, so now the last option that I want to discuss here is that XRM platform that we just discussed, that it's a highly extendable product. You can always go ahead and customize your CRM interface and create a new entities and modify your existing entities. So all these features that is available here, that we call it like a XRM feature, where X is like a variable. It means that now CRM is not just a traditional CRM application. The Dynamics CRM is just not a traditional CRM application, but you can use this CRM for any kind of domain application. So even you are not doing any kind of sales purchase. So let's take an example. I can implement Dynamics CRM in school. In school, we are not doing the sales purchase. We are just dealing with the students and their admissions, their examinations. I can modify the CRM to behave like a school application, because it provides a very basic set of feature that is required by every application, right? Whatever application that you use. Let's take an example. We are developing a simple web application. In the web application, definitely we need a user management, where we will manage that user, which user should be able to log in and which user should be able to see which information. We need some kind of automation, which is workflow kind of thing. We need some kind of reporting, right? We need some kind of charting. We need some kind of views. There we can see the list of data. All the things are out of box already available into Dynamics CRM. So that's why Dynamics CRM provide a very rich XRM platform, on the top of which we can develop our custom application instead of writing from scratch, right? So even in the web application, if you want to design any login screen, you need to completely design that form. You need to develop that ASP.NET, and you need to define those fields and everything. Here it will provide you that completely from the CRM interface itself. As soon as you will create new entity, a web form will be there. You just need to create the field and drag and drop those fields there. So your form will be ready. Okay. So these are the features that is known as XRM feature. And Microsoft Dynamics CRM, nowadays Microsoft is also promoting this application as a XRM application instead of a just traditional CRM application. Okay, so now let's discuss what are the deployment options that we have. The first option that we have is the on-premise deployment. Means that you can install the CRM on your own servers. You will set up that infrastructure, and there you will get the CRM server. You will purchase the CRM server from Microsoft, and you will install the CRM server there, right? So this will be in your intranet. You will do that installation. This will be available into your intranet. It won't be available into extranet by default, right? So depending on your resources, your company resources, it may be that you will develop, you will install the CRM into one server, or you can install the CRM on multiple servers. So basically, as I said, that this is a client server application. So it may be that you can set up one server, and then there will be another machines that will be used as a client. And it may be that SQL server you can install in the same, where you will install the CRM application. Or you can say that I want to use another SQL server machine as a backend, and then you can connect those two machines. So it depends totally on your company resources, whatever, how many resources you have and what is your budget in that. but you have a complete control on your servers. If you want to take any SQL backup, you can go to SQL, you can do that backup and you can restore that backup. And if you want to do any kind of SQL troubleshooting, you can go to SQL table and you can do the troubleshooting as well. So this is completely, you have the complete control. You will buy that license one time, the user license, and then if you are creating another organization, so CRM is basically a multi-organization system, means you are you able to hear me? Hello? Okay. So the other type that we have is the cloud CRM, which is available into extranet, and the cloud CRM is basically this CRM is hosted on the Microsoft server, and we basically purchase a subscription for us. So yearly subscription that we purchase, and then we pay for that users how many licenses we want to get to, so that they should be able to log into the CRM. So this will be completely available into extranet, but you won't be having access to the CRM server. So you cannot go to that SQL tables, you cannot go to the SQL server, you cannot take the backup, you don't have access to that. So if you want to do any kind of activities like you want to take backup, you need to request to Microsoft to take a backup for you. If there is any troubleshooting that you want to do, you need to log a support case to Microsoft, then work with the Microsoft to resolve that case. Okay, so you have that limitation here in the cloud CRM, and whatever business logic that you are writing on that cloud CRM, that runs on a limited area, so which is basically isolation mode. You cannot access that file system. The security is more here in the cloud system because it's running on the Microsoft server. Okay, so every time if you want to create new organization, you need to buy a new set of license. One user is only available to one organization. So in cloud CRM, if you want to buy another organization, you need to pay for another license. There is a limit in that memory that up to this GB you can store the data. If you will go more than that, you need to pay for every GB. It's not just like we can always increase the memory. Here you need to pay for every GB that you will go to extra, right? So these are the two things that is we have available on-premise and cloud. And the third one is basically the combination of the cloud and this on-premise, where we have this CRM is installed on some vendor instead of Microsoft, and they are selling us the subscription instead of Microsoft. So for example, I have installed the CRM. I am selling that CRM to my customer. They can purchase the subscription and they can use the CRM in my servers. So it's just like that only. But instead of Microsoft, a vendor is doing that. Maybe I am doing that, or there is another company who is doing that. So these are the three deployment options that we have. Okay. Now let's discuss some more on that extranet and intranet. As I said that on-premise is basically available into intranet only. Out of box it's not available into extranet. So if there is someone who want to connect to your CRM environment, first they need to come to your network, only then they can access it. So maybe they can use that VPN to connect to your network and then they can access it. But if you want that my application should be available into extranet, you need to do configuration on this, which is called IFD, Internet Facing Deployment. That we do on the top of on-premise to make our intranet CRM application available to extranet, so that if we have head office in other cities, they can also access directly from there. Or if there is some user who is outside our network, they want to access our CRM, they can access our on-premise organization. Okay, so we can do that IFD and we can make our intranet application available to extranet using that IFD configuration. So these are the three deployment options that we have available here, where we do that installation of the CRM. And then the other thing is that now we have, like, we understood that what are the deployment options, that is basically for server. But how to access CRM? That is basically that we have in the accessibility options, that we have different client to access this CRM application. The first one is that Outlook client, where after that Outlook client is installed, Outlook is installed, we can install one exe file that is you can get from the CRM software. So while you will download that software, there you will get that Outlook client, or you can also download from the internet. You can install that exe file on the top of your Outlook client, and after that installation, it will ask you that username and password and that URL of your CRM web application. So it will connect to your Outlook with the CRM server, and it will bring your data to that Outlook, and you will be able to see that interface in the Outlook itself. So you don't need to go to another machine or another server. So from your Outlook itself, you can access CRM application. So Outlook basically provide us two clients. One client is that online client. When you are in office, you are connected to your server, whatever record you are creating in Outlook, you are passing the same information to server. Whatever changes is done in server, that is also coming to Outlook based on your Outlook filters. So whatever record you own, that will come to your Outlook. Whatever you own means you have created those account records, or those assigned to you. Offline client is something. No, Outlook client is, when I'm saying that Outlook client means Outlook CRM client. Outlook is something different Office product that is from Microsoft, okay, which we provide you the functionality to send an email, to manage your contact on detail. When I'm saying Outlook client means after that Outlook, you will install another exe file on the top of Outlook that will connect your Outlook to the CRM, and that's what we call Outlook client. Okay, so we do have a offline Outlook client as well, which help you to access your data when you are not in office. So let's say you are not in office and you are accessing your Outlook, you will get the data in your Outlook, and you can just like it behave like you are accessing CRM server only, because every data will be available there. You can create your data, you can modify your data. When you will come back to office and you will connect to server, it will synchronize the changes to your server. Sorry. So it will synchronize your changes that you have done to your server. So everything, whatever you have done changes or created new record, that will be synchronized to your server. So this is what we have Outlook client. And then another client that we have is the web client, which is basically a web browser. So you can open web browser and you have that web URL, because this is a web application. Using that web URL, you can access your CRM server, right? CRM server application. Earlier, Microsoft Dynamics CRM only, there was only support for Internet Explorer, but now it provides support for every browsers. Like we have that Mozilla, we have Firefox, we have Chrome, we have Safari. You can access different type of browser to access CRM application. So you can just browse that URL and then you will be able to see that application, and it will be just like a web application presented to your browser, rendered to your browser. Okay. Then third one is the mobile client, because nowadays every user using mobile. So recently in the morning I was listening that news where they are saying that after some time the number of mobiles will be more than that the number of population of the world. So every person is using mobile after sometime they are just checking that if there is a message, there is some Facebook post or feedback or Twitter, whatever. So keeping that in mind, we have this Outlook client, mobile client. Using that also you can access your application. You can browse your CRM application from that mobile browser, or you can also download a app that is for the CRM. So if you are using a Windows mobile, you can install a Windows mobile client. If you are using Android mobile, you can download the Android app. If you are using iPhone, you can download that iPhone app. So there are different applications available. Using that you can connect to your CRM. But you need to make sure that if you are using that mobile client, yes, most of the top operating system that we have for mobile, it has that application for that. But you need to make sure that you can only access your CRM application if it's available into the extranet, right? So extranet means if you want to access your on-premise, so it should be configured as IFD. And online CRM you can always access from mobile client without any issue, right? So this is what we have for mobile client, but you also need to understand this mobile client. There is a limitations in the mobile client. It doesn't provide you complete functionality. It just provide you that basic functionality, that if you want to just view that record, if you want to create some of the business entity record and modify the some of the business entity record, it won't allow you to create record for every type of entity. So every type of modification, there are some specific entities that you can modify and create record in the Outlook client and update those, but you can most of that entities you can view. So these are basically for salespersons, so they can view their data from the mobile client itself. Okay, so these are the basically accessibility options that we have here. Every type of client have some kind of different than other clients. Like in Outlook we have different type of views available. Some of the things that we can do in that Outlook client, but that thing we cannot do in the web browser, because that is Outlook specific features that is not available in the web browser. So in the same way, like in the mobile client, we have this kind of limitations, that what type of information we can access and what type of entity record we can create. So these are the basically accessibility models. So do you have any question on this? So this is what I have for today's demo.